we just felt that as social scientists, we really had to contribute to the self-understanding of societies, so that in this pandemic they might maybe understand better what's going on, and certainly what could be done to redress this situation. And the initiative started, as you said, it was just about writing an op-ed for May Day, actually in France, with Dominique Méda and Julie Batilana. We thought that we should write at least, an op-ed to identify what's going on in work, or to put it differently, how work can be part of the solution. Because we recognize, our societies have recognized that workers are essential, that we could not sustain ourselves nor the society without this crucial investment that workers do as they work, and yet our societies are really not organized in such a way that they recognize this basic principle. And so we wrote that op-ed and we shared it with female colleagues, because we thought that it was very important in this pandemic specifically to highlight the role that not only women are playing in society in general, in the economy in particular, but also in academia, that they have expertise on these topics, and they are not necessarily always recognized for these expertise. And so quickly it became viral, as you said. And so now we've been trying to organize as a network of scholars reaching beyond academia. And our first step has been to write a book together. As 12 scholars, female scholars, we wrote a book because we thought that given the magnitude of the resonance that the manifesto had, we indeed needed to provide more about the manifesto, more background, more examples, give people more ideas about how we could implement those three principles: democratize, decommodify, and remediate. And so we wrote that book, which is now out in French at Le Seuil, as 12 female scholars. That doesn't mean that we are only 12 in this movement. We are actually many, as you mentioned. Now, hopefully the book is going to be translated and made available in other languages so that we can sustain this global movement.
I think that there are quite a few activities going on. So we are in touch with unions and political parties at various levels. I think for the long-term project is also very important to build the academic networks and sort of go beyond the dominance of economic theory as we've seen it, and to really also get different models, different ways of thinking about the economy into the curricula. I think that's going to be very important for the long-term shift here. And then, I mean, we are not currently the ones who would be sort of agitating on the streets. We're sort of one step backwards behind this. But I think at a certain point, there will have to be concrete political demands for which people will have to go into the streets. But that, I think, has to be more specific in specific countries, or maybe also at the EU level, because the situation of the labor markets or the informal labor structures are so different that we cannot have a global policy at this stage that would just say, here is the one measure that you need to introduce in all countries. That needs to be done more by the local groups, by local activists. And I mean, those activists exist, and what we can maybe help to contribute is to connect people, to make certain voices more visible, and thereby to sort of create more engagement, create public discourse around these issues.
Also on this, I think we could also invite everyone who's interested into engaging with these ideas to get to our webpage, which is democratizingwork.org. And there you can sign a manifesto if you want, but you can also stay updated about our activities and be involved to help us develop this agenda of action. And then indeed, as we manage to have the book translated in German and in other languages, it's gonna be very interesting to indeed use that book so that we can further nurture this conversation. Because as you will see, being 12 scholars, we have different views. Some are complementary, some are really engaging with all the debates that the manifesto contains. So we really look forward to be able to continue this conversation, and we think that it's, I guess, our role to do that.